All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. It is my favorite day of the week. Only day traders get to say that. Most people hate Mondays. I love them and look forward to them. First trading day of the week. We have 5 days to do what we love. All right, so a little bit of a sell-off today since market opened last night. Take a look at our 15-minute chart here. As you can see, a little bit of a sell-off today so far. We are now consolidating and have been consolidating since about 4:30 this morning. Not really sure where we're going to head from here. You can see we're kind of sitting on some support here now. We do have some pretty big events coming up this week, the biggest being FOMC. Rate decision is on Wednesday. Right now, expectations are no cuts. Everything stays the same. Market has been, for the last 9 to 10 days, beginning to price in more cuts by the Fed throughout the year, as well as relief from tariffs. That's why we've basically had this 9-day rally, which is the longest winning streak for the S&P in the last 20 years. It's a lot of hype and a lot of movement based on speculation, in my opinion. So I would just be cautious. Any negative piece of news can send the market plummeting again, right? Especially with FOMC coming up. If they seem at all relatively hawkish, we might see a little bit of downside coming into play there, but we'll see how it goes. Data so far still looks really good. Job data came out really good last week. Big tech is still doing really well. Earnings have been doing pretty good. Even the outlooks for most either are saying that they're still looking at good news. Some of them have not released an outlook, waiting to see what happens with tariffs. And there have been some cases where, outlooks haven't looked so well. But all of that is dependent on what happens with tariffs. So, it's literally a snap of a finger here can change all of that. So we're still sitting in a very uncertain area, right? Very gray area here. So any piece of news can send the market running really in either direction, depending on what that is. If Trump comes out and announces that tariffs are going down to 10% across the board, including China, this market's going to rally. But the opposite can occur as well. So it's nice that we were able to rally for the last 9 days. Hopefully, you all capitalized on that. Just be cautious. We might have some downside this week or sideways trading, which would suck. Until Wednesday. Today we have S&P services PMI, and then we have ISM services PMI coming out at 9:45 and 10 this morning. So keep an eye out for that. And then we'll see. You can see we're already below our key levels here. Not a big deal. We're not that far away from them. We could end up pushing up to our volume low here and then take a bounce off of that. For me, that's kind of what the initial plan is this morning. I'd like to see a little push up and maybe we get a bounce off of our volume low here. Or we could just push up to our, previous highs here and also get a bounce from there as well. So that's the plan here. You can see how ugly this looks so far. And New York session is now open. So let's see, where we head and what we get for direction here, and we'll go from there. We'll start planning our day. We are trading in the funded account, and we're going to remain trading in the funded account from this point forward. So we have pushed out of this consolidation range here slightly. Let's see if we can continue that movement. All right, some selling pressure coming in here. This is low of the day, by the way. Okay, in case you guys didn't see that on the 15-minute here, we've already made lows of the day here, and that's this wick right here. So if we do end up pushing back down here, and we get some support here, this may also be not a terrible place to maybe take a bounce here. I kind of like how we're creating a little bit of a, a bowl here or a curve. So let's let this first 15-minute here play out and see which way we're going to head. Hope everybody had a great weekend. Mine was pretty good. All right, looks like we are starting to build up some liquidity here. The buyers are stepping in here. All right, nice push there. Reaching and pushing past New York session highs here. All right. Looks pretty decent for possible continuation here in the morning at least. Oh, not holding though. All right, this looks pretty good so far. As long as we can maintain here. Pretty strong push in the opposite direction there. There we go. Buyers came right back in, pushed right back. Not too bad. A really strong push here by the sellers. Very strong push by the sellers here. coming back into our liquidity here. Maybe pushing through our liquidity here, so be careful that we don't get a dump here. Okay. We have not broken New York session low yet, which is this wick here. Okay. Yep, we broke New York session low here. We might be moving. Next target here is going to be lows of the day, right? Oh, nice push there. Nice push there. Crazy volatility here. Last minute in our first 15 minutes here of New York session. Ton of volatility here. Crazy movements. And that is because we got our S&P services PMI here. See if I can get these numbers for you. Keep in mind, in another 15 minutes, we have more data. So, S&P Services PMI. We were looking for a 51.2. We got 50.8. So, missed to the downside there. A little bit lower than expectations. I would imagine we might continue to get some volatility and sideways trading here until we get our ISM Services PMI. There we're looking for 50.2. That is the expectation for today. So we'll see. Hopefully it doesn't come in much lower than that. That might send the market even lower today. So we are starting to get some resistance here, as you can see. And like I said, we might just be continuing to trade this range here for another 15 minutes. Yep. I mean, you got liquidity here. And you definitely are building some liquidity up here. Sellers, buyers, right? So we're kind of just bouncing in between this area here. I don't think that we're making new highs on New York session yet. Not until we get that other data. Or not. It's interesting that those numbers are not going in the right direction, and the market's still climbing here, although slow. I mean, it could just be reaching for liquidity. Yeah. Very interesting. Hmm? Right back to the other end. I was tempted to take a short up here after this, but I'm not really a range trader, so should just stay in my lane. Ugh. Hmm. Well, so far, really not great market structure to trade in starting off the week here, but it's to be expected. You got some data, like I said, coming out in another 8 minutes here, and you got FOMC on Wednesday. Now, I would still expect, hopefully, the market to make some kind of move today after we get the data at 10 o'clock here. Hopefully, we can capitalize, even if it's just a little bit, um, after our data today, and then we'll, take it very, very easy the rest of the day and tomorrow going into FOMC on Wednesday. I will be live. Yeah, I should be able to go live on Wednesday for FOMC. Starting to build a little bit of support here. Yeah, a little push by the sellers here, or the buyers. Okay. Didn't quite make it back down to the low end of the range here. Definitely got some buyers stepping up here, and we're now pushing back towards the top end of the range. Yeah, so tariff policy definitely affecting the S&P Services PMI here. Just reading the report there. That's really the main headline there. You know, uncertainty still, keeping people from growing and advancing, and prices increasing with the tariffs. All right, looks like we might push higher here right now. Making new highs here in the New York session right before we get this data. Now we're 2.5 minutes. Interesting. Interesting push right before our data here. All right, 1 minute away here. So ISM Services PMI, that's what we're waiting for here. We also have ISM Services Prices Paid, Services Employment, Services New Orders. But the big hitter here is going to be the ISM Services PMI, right? That's your overall. Oh my goodness. All right, let's see what we got here. Still waiting for the numbers. Apparently the market likes it. Okay, ISM Services PMI actual was 51.6. The forecast was 50.2. That shows growth. So that shows growth there. So that would be why the market is moving positively there. ISM Services Employment, the actual was 49. We were expecting 47.1. Again, growth. New orders, 52.3. We were expecting a 50.3 growth, and prices paid, that came in at 65.1. Forecast was 61.4. That shows growth pretty much all the way around there. So that's a pretty decent miss to the upside there for ISM Services PMI. Showing growth. Interesting. I'll wait for that report to come out, and then I'll take a quick gander at the report. So Now we kind of have to pick what we want to do here. We're not that far away from our volume low, our key level. I would imagine that we're gonna move it to at least up to that point, and then we can kind of figure out what price is gonna do from there. If it looks strong enough to continue, then we can look to possibly continue with the trend to the long side. If not, that is a good place to short from. That was the original plan anyway. If price made it all the way back up to volume low, we would look to take a short there. So let's see what price does. There we go. Yeah, not bad. Those are good numbers. All right. So now that the news is out of the way for the day, now we can kind of see and try to figure out what price is doing here, what direction we want to go. Overall direction was down for the entire day so far. New York session is pushing price in the opposite direction, making higher highs so far. So getting a little bit of a pullback here off of our news. Didn't quite break that high. All right, getting a quick push back by the sellers here. Not liking the way that's looking. Yeah. Very quick pullback here. Buyer step up there. Okay. I was waiting to see if we were going to break those wicks there, but so we still have some downside here. We might be coming back down here. So let's pay attention. We had some good buyer side liquidity here. Very interesting here. Trying to pick a direction. Big pushback by the buyers there. Still a lot of volatility here. Nice there. It looks like buyers are still in control. Sellers are trying here, so hard to figure out which direction we're going to ultimately go in here. And the 15-minute here is confusing. All right, we don't know if we're going to run back up to fill this wick here before we close, or if we're going to end up heading in the other direction here. And if we close in the red with this candle, then we are most likely heading further down. So I think we just got to wait a little bit longer here to figure out what we're doing. We only got a minute and a half here left for this 15-minute candle, and I'd say it's a pretty important 15-minute candle here to show a direction. So fortunately, all we can do is wait at this point. The safest thing to do. A lot can happen in a minute and 20 seconds. You can tell the direction is unclear because we continue to break, previous candles and wicks on both sides here. So you got a pretty decent battle going on right here between buyers and sellers. Here's our last minute candle within the current 15. So this is going to tell the story here. This candle can run in either direction. Thanks, man. All right. Closed more bearish than we did anything else. So let's see what price does here. Unfortunately, we're like in no man's land here, right? We're in no man's land. Are we going to push higher? Are we going to push lower? We have areas here that we would have to see get broken, this high and these lows here, to really kind of understand what direction the market is going to go today. And so right now we're just in between, which is a little bit of a bummer. But it wouldn't really make any sense to get into a position anywhere in this mess here. So my goal for this week was to, number one, another 4 green days, because we have to get 5 green days in order to be able to pull our first payout from our funded account here. We had 1 on Thursday. We didn't trade on Friday. So I'm looking for 4 more green days this week. And my hope is to, be up a few thousand there, because I don't want to take a payout without having a really good cushion. Once I take my payout, my 0 mark is 0, right? I don't have any additional loss or drawdown that they give you. So I want to make sure I have a good amount in the account to give me some safety room. My goal is to have 5,000 in there, and that gives me a really decent safety net there. So if I do have a couple of days of drawdown, I'm not what they give you initially is 2,000. So we were able to pass the funded, the challenge, and so far we're doing okay in this one here. We're in the green, but I'd feel a little bit better with a little bit more than just 2,000 for a drawdown, right? Having $5,000 in a 50K account for drawdown gives me a lot of wiggle room, relieves some stress so that I can focus a little bit better on placing good trades. So that's the goal. I would love to be above 5,000 and 4 more green days, right? Anything above the 5,000 will be profits that I will take payouts on. So every 5 green days, you're allowed to take a payout. So we're still kind of, we're still trending upwards here, especially from the start of the New York session. Okay. But we do have, some selling pressure once we reach certain areas here. So I don't want to get into something just because we're trending up, especially when we're so close to highs here, right? We'll see. Pardon my rudeness, but I'm going to eat my breakfast while we're watching here. So if we break these previous highs here, we're still kind of it still doesn't really give us a confirmation that we're going to continue moving to the upside today, because now we're just reaching our key levels from Friday. We are right now well below our key levels, and once we break highs here, if we do, then we probably will be heading for our volume low, which is the low end, of our key levels. That could just be a bounce, right? Before we continue to the downside. Doesn't have to be, but what I'm saying is we still can't really get into a trade based off of, making higher highs here yet, because we have a key level that we can't risk going past. Looks like we might not even have to worry about that. Wow. Now, if we do make it up to our volume low and we push past it, different story. We look for confirmation. Maybe we're going to stay above it. Okay. But we'd have to see that, unfortunately. Otherwise, we wait for, are we even going to break highs here? Before we head back to the downside. Who knows? We're just in a waiting pattern right now. It is what it is. we got to understand too that where we're sitting right now, good news may be bad news again, because although those ISM services numbers came out really, really good, that kind of solidifies the fact that the Fed doesn't have to do anything still. And that's not what the market is pricing in. The market is pricing in Fed cuts. The more we get good data, the less likely the Fed is to cut. And so if the market is pricing in cuts and we get good data, which confirms Fed isn't going to cut, then you're going to get downside on good data. If that makes sense, right? Sometimes good news is bad news and bad news is good news. And I think right now, because the market has been pricing in additional cuts this year from the Fed, good news is going to be bad news overall. Like, you're going to get your jump off of, yay, we got good data. But then after the digestion hits, it's going to be like, oh, well, wait a minute. Fed's not going to cut. So, and that's their stance. And that has been their stance for a very long time. We have good data. Inflation is moving in the right direction. Jobs are still doing really good. Why would we change anything? And that's what they're doing. So the market's been pricing in cuts, additional cuts, and we've been rallying for the last 9 days based on that. The more good news we get, especially, this wasn't like a slight, this was a good miss to the upside, like shows real growth, not just a little bit. So I think, we might actually end up having a little bit more downside today, just based off of that. But obviously we're not going to place trades based off of assumptions, right? That's just my assumption. We'll wait for the confirmations and we'll go from there. I did take a look at the Fed rate monitor this morning. We're pretty much locked in at no cut on Wednesday. It's a 97.8% chance that we stay where we are. The June one has now moved up significantly. We're up at 71% for no cut. Last week, we were actually up a little bit on a 25 basis point cut. So that has switched over the weekend, okay? And that might be why we're seeing a little bit of a pullback here. July now is our first possible 25 basis point cut. And then September, we're looking at another 25 basis point cut. But again, the longer we continue to get good news and we're still moving in the right direction, the less likely the Fed is to make any changes to their policy. So that's where we stand. And I think that's kind of what we're seeing here in our price action, is trying to figure out what's what here, I would expect some sideways trading, honestly, in this week until Wednesday. Might not be the greatest week to get another four green days. Some of them might not trade. Buyers are still doing a decent job of holding price up here so far. Still holding an upward trend here. Hmm. No. There we go. We might be getting some selling pressure now. See how far this goes. Hmm. Hmm. 15-minute chart. We're building a shelf here. See this? So, big pushback here by sellers. We're creating a shelf here. So we may have additional downside here. We've still not broken below this wick here, okay? And until we do, there's absolutely no confirmation that price is going to continue to the downside yet. This is your liquidity down here. Very clearly buyer heavy, right? So until we can see the sellers overtake the buyers here, and you also have them here and down here, right? There's nothing telling us that price is changing direction yet. Once we start breaking lows here, a little bit more confirmation that we are starting to turn, and then you look at that 15-minute chart where we have a shelf, that's correlating data, right? There you go. There it is. Selling pressure coming in. If you also look across here, you can see the same thing happened over here. Look at this shelf right here. It's at the same price point. So strong seller side liquidity up in this area here. And now we're breaking previous lows with conviction, I might add. Volume building. We know we have buyer side liquidity here, so I would expect some pushback here. Okay. Sorry about eating in front of you, but I was hungry. All right, so far, pretty strong push here by the sellers on the way back down. Again, we know we have buyer side liquidity here. So this is pretty normal here, right? We still don't have a full confirmation that we are flipping direction. But let me tell you what I'm looking at here on the 15. You have a shelf right here, correlates with shelves over here as well, right? You can see that this is a very strong price point for a resistance, okay? You can see the strong resistance with these wicks. Nice strong push. We're breaking below previous lows. We're just now coming to the bottom of this wick here. Unless we have enough, not quite sure we break it with this candle. And honestly, even if we close down here, I would almost expect one more test up here before we move to the downside, if that holds, right? This is, right, it's all if. But just thinking out loud, just looking ahead at what I'm planning, I would love to see price come back up here. And this is where you enter if it holds. If we show resistance here again, this would be a really nice entry here for a short. Boom. You can target previous lows, take some of your position, whatever you want, and wait for the rest to fall. That's the idea. Doesn't mean that that's what's going to happen. You know, we could get enough buyer side liquidity down here and just push right back up the other way, right? You know, anything can happen. Just be prepared for certain things, or for all things, I guess. So price coming back up here. Here's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for price to come back up here without breaking our wick here. If that happens, that's resistance, and we could take a short from up here, pushing down, so long as we get the right candle signals, right? We need to see the right price action in order for that to happen. If we break this wick here, no good. Staying out. That's my plan. Buyers coming in strong here. All right, we've approached the shelf, which is basically right here. So if we get resistance here, like we saw with these 3 candles, if we get resistance here, we might be in a decent position to grab a short back down here. Let's see. But this is the key right here. If we break above this wick, even if we just wick above it, it's no good. Yep, done. Buyers have it. No good. What I've seen by watching this price action is you need the shelf to be 4 candles strong. Just heard a big bang here. Let me just go check and make sure my wife's okay. I'll be right back. All right, everybody's alive. We're good. Okay. So that's what I've noticed. That's just from me watching this over the years. You know, if we have a nice 1, 2, 3 candles that close at the same level, whatever side the liquidity is on, the price most likely is going to go the opposite direction. You can see that right here. Perfect example right here, actually. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4. Nice shelf, 4 candles strong. Boom. Move to the downside here. You can see it here almost too. It's not the greatest one, but it's just, here's another one over here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sellers coming in, pushing price to close at the same price point here. Boom. Right? See if I can see any on the opposite direction. It just seems to be, I don't know, that's where we see it all the time. You know, just something that I've picked up on. Obviously not the only signal, but if you start to see something like that, then you can really start looking closely at it. You know, we got 1, 2, 3 here. Strong pushes. This could still close right here. We got 3.5 minutes. A lot of time. It's probably going to be the longest 3.5 minutes ever, just because we're watching it. All right. So where's that at? That's, you know, I'm just going to put a little line here just so that we can see it when we're in the minute chart. Boom, right there. Now we know here if that 15-minute candle closes basically right at this price, we know we have that 1, 2, 3, 4, you know, candle shelf there. So let's see. If we start breaking highs here, then obviously that's, you know, we're not going in that way, you know, because this particular instance here, you can see the liquidity on both sides, right? You got buyers coming in here, sellers coming in here. The only thing that I would say is downtrend today, right? Downtrend. So if we do get that price to close, you know, at or below here, maybe more chance that we're going to continue to the downside than not, because that's the direction the market's moving today, right? I don't like to have like a bias on the day because it can change 8 different times in a day, but just a, it's like just one more piece to the puzzle. That's all. Look at this. We moved up. Really, really nice rejection here. Did not break these highs. Clearly didn't break these highs. Moved right back down to our shelf line here. I almost want to go short right here, to be honest with you. I won't because it's not confirmation. But this was a good rejection here. We took out 1, 2, 3 candles previously. Couldn't break higher highs. This is the last candle here. It's holding. We got 10 seconds here. Remember, we need to be below that gray line there. Nope. That's a bullish candle. Yeah, once we broke this here, that kind of told you we were in going in a different direction. So we could be... Yeah, it's so hard to tell still. We're still in no man's land here. We're just consolidating. So it's really, really difficult to tell. We make lower lows, but then we push up and we make higher highs. So... Unfortunately, we were close there, but no cigar. Buyers came in strong here. We didn't break our lows here. Here's New York session low. We came back down, retested this liquidity here, buyer side liquidity. We never broke. Very, very strong push back to the upside here. We just stuck. We're stuck. The price is stuck. Now we're back in our holding pattern. Because we're just range trading still. So this is what we're doing today. Going to the range on Monday. Just gotta keep watching. Unfortunately, it is what it is. Gotta play it smart, you know? We've done well so far. We got funded. No sense in messing it up just because I want to trade, right? That's just what I gotta keep telling myself. Don't be so eager to get into the market. You know? Trading less is what got me to where I am right now. Trading more is what kept me failing. So, we just sit. We just sit. If you guys have like ideas of things to do while we're waiting, let me know. Let me know. I feel bad, you know. I feel bad for you guys watching. Nothing's going on. I try to explain things as I go. I don't know. If you have any ideas, let me know. Try to think of some things to do while we're sitting and waiting for consolidation to be done. At least we got the music finally. No more dead air. Yeah. So, again, buyers and sellers are fighting away here. Kind of looks a little bit more buyer here. One, two, three, four. Let's see. Have not broken previous highs yet. Starting to put in a shelf here. Price hasn't really... Oh, there we go. Look at that. Sellers coming in a little bit more now. You almost have a shelf on the bottom too. So you gotta look both ways. We did close below here, okay? So that's okay. We broke previous wicks here. Nice stop by the sellers right here. Let's see if we can break previous lows. You can see how the sellers are coming in here. See that? That price action. Trying again. Buyers holding a little bit better this time. And a push. There you go. That's why we like confirmation, you know? Obviously, this doesn't have to work all the time, but... All right, we pushed up to our previous highs here, getting a rejection again. But what's important here is we are continuing to make higher highs, higher lows, right? Higher high. Okay, buyers oh, there we go. Buyers coming in now. Got some volume popping. All right, moving right up to previous highs of the New York session. What do you think? We're pushing higher today in the New York session? Why did we pause? Hello? Hello? This platform does this sometimes, especially when price really starts to move. I don't know what is going on. Let's see if we can break those highs. New York session. Oh, there it is. There it is. I think we're going up. I think we've had a market shift. Let's see if we can hold here. All right, retesting over here. All right, buyers coming in here. Sellers are coming in too. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. All kinds of volume coming in right now. Orders are just flowing right now. We just got to kick a spike up in the order flow here. Close just above that. That's good. We're still looking at okay on the bullish side here. We do have a market structure shift. Just want to be careful here though. Just want to make sure that we're not going to get caught in some kind of liquidity grab. But we do look like we may be shifting here. It's not very convincing. Can you push? Let's see if we can see a continuation here. Hey, good morning. Yeah, we have so today we had S&P services PMI that came in lower than expected. But then we got ISM services PMI that came in better than expected, and not by a little bit. It was a decent amount, which gave us this little bit of a push here. Wednesday's FOMC. That's going to be that's the big headline this week is Fed rate decision and FOMC. So that's Wednesday. All right, we are still making progress to the upside here, but slowly. I would love to see a continuation here so that we can confirm a market shift. I'm just not really excited about the price action here. It's a little slow, low volume. It's been a choppy morning, as you can see. So we're basically just waiting for some confirmation in one direction or another. It does look bullish at this point, and we are breaking previous highs from previous sessions. We're just doing it slowly. Which is okay. Just not something I like to trade on, right? Like to see a little bit more conviction there from the buyers. And also keep in mind that we are not far from our volume low here, right? Key level. So just because we are pushing up here and we are breaking, highs here, we've pushed past our shelf here. We have a little bit of market structure here that we're kind of getting hung up on. But we have key level here. So even if we do keep pushing up here, this could be a pivot point still. So gotta be careful. It's just one of those days, just choppiness, choppy. So, oh, that was nice. It's very nice, actually. Yeah. I was hovering over the buy button there after this. Yeah, we're going to make higher highs here. It's going to go. I should have taken this down here. When this stalled down here, honestly, as soon as this turned green again, I should have went. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. We're building a position here. That's what's happening, right? Buyers are building a position here. Oh, maybe we have another chance. Let's see if this... Hmm. Oh. Maybe I shouldn't have got in then. Hmm. I don't know. The latest highs from Friday? You're talking the highs of Friday? Like up here? Yeah, it's a very good possibility for sure. We're struggling here, and based off of these key levels from Friday, you definitely have some work to get there. But I mean, yeah, you can see that from our 15-minute chart here that this is definitely a strong area. I mean, it's possible. I mean, and if not today, nothing that says that we won't try to get up here before Wednesday. Didn't break there. Hmm. Yeah, I mean, I definitely, you're not wrong at all. This is definitely a very strong pivot point. If price does come up here, I would most likely um, think that price will pivot here. I just don't know that it's going to get there today. We're struggling even just to get to our low end of the trading range from Friday. It's already 11:15. I mean, it could move up in the afternoon. We have been getting moves in the afternoon also. Just keep watching. I wouldn't be surprised if we make our way up to that level over today and tomorrow, and then when FOMC comes out Wednesday afternoon, we're there, and then it plummets. Right? Sometimes it works out that way. So I do think we still have some upside. We did break New York session highs here. This is a nice, easy pullback. I like that. Question is just what level are we going to have or grab enough liquidity to continue pushing up here? That is the question. Might be right here. Coming off our shelf here. We'll see. We'll see if we if we build up some liquidity here. Nice move here. Hmm. I guess that was your level. There it is. Wasn't really the cleanest area here. And what I didn't like about here is that we broke this previous wick here. But once this candle came in, pretty good idea that we were going to continue moving up. I just didn't get enough of a pullback for me to grab a position. So let's see what we got now. Nice strong push here. So this is nice information. It didn't close yet, though. Be careful. May not be a continuation to the upside here. Be careful. All right, retapping into what was liquidity before. There's not a lot of volume on these two candles here. So yeah, we did come in, we retapped our liquidity here, but we're not getting a lot of volume trying to come back out of our liquidity here, which makes me think that we may be going through it. All right, now we have some volume coming in. Plateau. All right, we are tapping into this liquidity zone for a, is that 1, 2, 3, fourth time here. Oh boy. It's holding. I don't like the feel of it. Mm-mm. Mm. Our control is going to change to this area here. So right now, we're getting really close to this price point being fair value. Oh, we pushed through. Okay. Yeah. Got a little bit more selling pressure. Oh, there you go. So here's fair value now, just above 20,000. Or 20,080s. Tough call here. The 15-minute chart, we have not been able to close above this structure, which you can see held very, very well during Asia session here. That's the only thing that's keeping me like. So we might need a little bit of a bigger pullback here, and then maybe we'll continue up. I mean, it still looks bullish. Let me get rid of this. Yeah, let's see if we come down here, which was previous fair value. Still a lot of orders here. This is like more flat than anything else. We don't really have particular, zones of interest. They're very big, which is not typical. Usually you have little sections like this one here. This particular section is pretty large, which gives you a lot of room for price to go. That looks pretty decent right there. It's not bad. I like that. Got some volume there with it. Broke our highs here. All right. We're not getting a lot of love here. I don't like the way the 15-minute chart looks. That's my problem. Let's try. I don't know if we're gonna get what we want here, but if we do move up and we break these highs here, I'm going to move up pretty quickly because I don't like the way the chart is starting to look. I'm hoping that this was just a normal pullback to grab some more liquidity to continue making higher highs today. But we do have some pretty long wicks on the 15-minute chart up here, so I am going to trail the stop loss pretty tight here. So break even now. If it takes me out, it takes me out. I don't even care. But I don't want to be a part of something that's just going to switch directions very quickly here. All right. So let's see how this goes. Obviously, we'll be targeting previous highs. We'll watch closely when we get there. Went in with a little bit of a bigger position than I probably should have, to be honest with you. But that's okay. We got our break even pretty quickly. We're either going to move here or we're not, so... All right. Yeah, see, this is what I didn't want to be a part of here. We're just gonna either continue consolidating or we're gonna drop here. I don't know that we have enough to continue moving up. I wanted to stay long today, but come on, show me the 15-minute. You know, we are getting some pretty serious pushback up here. So we'll see what happens. And if we continue consolidating, then clearly we don't want to be in that either, but we gave it a shot. We did get a nice bounce here, right? Very, very strong here. A nice slow pullback here. We got signals of buyers coming in here. This is where I got in on the close of this candle. It pushed a little. It may continue pushing, but I didn't want to be in this if it was going to drop. So, and I don't want to lose any money. So I'll take every break-even hit that I can get and get that one good trade, you know? So we'll see. I'm a little less convinced now that we're going to continue higher. That doesn't mean that that's correct, but and we may need a deeper pullback, honestly. But look at the sellers coming in here. Yeah, that would have been stopped out right there. So glad I moved to break even. We gave it the old try based off of what we were seeing, right? It's already 11:50. We're getting into the lunchtime hours here now. I don't know. Yeah, and so now we're stuck in this even smaller consolidation here, right around our fair value price. You know, who knows? Maybe we're getting the same move off of this zone here. Almost exactly the same move. So you got buyers here for sure. I'll tell you what, though. If this breaks through here, you might be tumbling. Let's see. Let's see if this was enough here. 1-2 times, grab liquidity. Nice strong move. Pretty much exactly the same. Right out of this area here. But look at the volume. I don't know. So what I see here is you had this sell-off here as soon as the market opened again last night. You have this little bit of structure here, and then your continuation. We have not broken this structure. Okay? We've wicked up to it, not past it. The highest wick here, equal. We have not been able to break this structure. We have not been able to close above this structure. So you definitely got some strong seller side liquidity up here. You could work through it. The buyers could work through it. And maybe that's exactly what they're trying to do here. But really, until then, mm. Mm. Let's see. When we were reaching, let's see if we get another test here. You know, the other thing, too, you can look at is here was your New York session high. We broke through New York session high, but not with any kind of conviction, right? And pretty easily held up here by sellers. Strong push down. We tried again and could not close above, right? So let's see here. We might be trying for a third time. Maybe we'll get it this time. Maybe they'll have enough to get through that structure. Draw a little box here. Probably to the bottom there, I would say. Incoming sellers again. It's all low volume though, right? All of this is low volume. So there's not really, you know, until we see something that breaks something with volume, we're not moving anywhere. We're sideways trading. And the volume is just, as you can see here, continually becoming less and less, right? And that's normal. We reach 12 o'clock, it's lunchtime. So that's why I don't really typically like to trade after 12 o'clock in the afternoon, but also we've been getting some moves after then, you know, lately. So we might be. I wonder if we're going to get one of those crazy candles at 12 o'clock. That's been happening lately too. On the hour, either at 11 o'clock or 12 o'clock, we get, you know, on certain days, we get these just crazy candles that come out of nowhere. Hmm. All right, we got a minute and a half here for the current 15 to close. If we can close above here, that might give us an indication, but it's struggling. We're struggling right here. Again, I wonder if we're going to get one of those wicked candles here at 12 o'clock like we've been getting sometimes. Let's see. "30 seconds. It's not going to do it. Nope. And let me tell you why. What I was looking at. That same level here. We still have not been able to close above here, which is the same structure back here. You know, we'll see. We've tapped in twice here now into this liquidity. All right, tapped in, got the same pushes out of this zone. The 15-minute is starting to look a little bit more bullish again. But we have these large wicks on both sides. That's the, you know, large wicks, no clear direction here. We got orders coming in now. Is it going to go? Boom. All right, let's see if we retest and break our highs. Just get it right back. It's a nice hold by the buyers there. Really nice. See if they can continue. It looks like it wants to go, but we've been here before. They're trying. They are trying. All right, here comes our retest of highs. Definitely got some order flow coming right through. Boom. Nice move. Headed right to our volume low here. Now we're picking up. It's lunchtime. What are we doing here? I should just start my live streams at 11 o'clock instead. Avoid all this crap. That's what it feels like lately. All right, let's see if we run up to volume low here. Nice volume on that push. It's not a very strong close, though. That's the thing. It's not great. Couldn't even push on the next candle. Makes it hard to try to continue long because we're not pushing that substantially beyond these highs here. So I wonder if we do move a little higher and we hit our volume low here and we get rejected. That's the part that kind of makes me a little worried about getting into longs. The 15-minute chart looks good for longs. Oh, there we go. Nice little pump. Oh, man. We can't hold it, though. Yeah. This is that level again that we've not been able to close above yet. So let's see here. We got like 25 seconds here for this to either run up, or if we lose this level, I don't know. Hey, it held. It held just barely, but it held. Oh my goodness. All right. I'm going to stay on a little longer, but I'm going to take a little break, so I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. All right, let's see here. I think, honestly, the safest play here is to wait for price to reach our volume low. Maybe at that level, we'll get some type of movement, whether it's a nice push through that and then a continuation to the upside, or we get a quick, it doesn't have to be quick. We get a reversal, we get a rejection there, and, we'll go from there. Really, really choppy day. Really choppy day. I mean, look at this 15-minute chart. Just wicks on wicks on wicks, right? It's really choppy New York session here. So let's see. We're again coming up here. I think at this point, we're most likely coming up to our volume low. That's our key zone. Let's just wait for price to get there, see what it does. Maybe we'll get something out of it. It's really all we can do at this point. Oops. We still look pretty bullish on the 15-minute, but it's taken all morning to get to that. Kind of just gives vibes that this is going to break out one way or the other. Like, we're going to either get a wicked push up or down. So we'll hang out a little longer. See what price does. Here we go. Let's push. Once again, we squeak by, and we can't maintain. The buyers can't maintain here. All right, come on. Let's see a little. All right, some orders flowing. Tape is moving. Come on. Let's go. It's crazy. You get a sea of green in the tape, and it's immediately followed by a sea of red. Apparently, there are a lot of orders up here. Come on, let's go. Push. It's almost like the sellers are refusing to sell their positions up here because the tape really slowed, like it's stuttering as we move into this area here. It's gonna break one way or the other. Oh, man. Come on. Let's do it. There it is. There it is. There it is. Making our way up. Volume low, key level from Friday. Let's go. Let's go. Keep pushing. Oh my goodness. Let's go. Finally. What are we doing here? What are we doing? Uh-oh. Are we gonna pivot that quick here? That's too quick, right? That's too quick. There we go. Maybe we're just... Oh my goodness, if this thing just drops out now. Oh no, this is gonna fall. See if we can't break these wicks here. There we go. Alright, let's go test again. Come on. Too much sitting. All right. Are we going up for a second peek or what? Take a second look. There we go. Come on. Alright, this might be our push through here. We'll see. Let's see if we got enough to peek through here. Big push. Big push. See if we get one final push past our volume low here. See if we can't close above there. One final push. Not yet. Sorry, we're not moving at all now. Very, very, very little volume. This is going to pop off one way or the other. That's what's going to happen. We're either going to pop up here and then just run, or vice versa. Can we get the upside? This price action is terrible. I feel like I'm watching replay. There we go. We're gonna get it here. Come on. Our key level is holding pretty strong here so far. Come on. There it is. Pop right through. Let's go. Yeah, come on. You're right there. Let's go, buyers. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Here it is. Oh my goodness. With the rejection. See if we have some significant volume with this, otherwise I don't believe it. Still getting rejected by our key level. We need a big, strong push through here to continue to the upside. At least this shows you guys how good these key levels are. Come on. Well, maybe we got something here. Big wicked candle to the upside. 2 seconds. What are we gonna get? price is moving so slow. There's so little volume. Oh, we're picking up here. Got some selling pressure coming in. Look at that. The shorts are definitely building here. Although the buyers might be taking them up. The buyers might be taking them. Let's see here. Let's see. Decent volume on that push. Oh, here we go. We're gonna get a comeback. We're gonna break lower. We're gonna move up here. Oh boy. Watch out now. Might be taking a right to the downside here.
Order filled. Order filled.
All right, that's going to be it for me. I'm going to keep watching. I'm going to see if we retest here again and get rejected again, or if we finally push through. But as far as the live goes, I think I'm all set. I've been on here for a long time. So thanks for watching. Appreciate you guys' support. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I would appreciate it. Thank you. And join the free Discord. Link for that is in the description down below. And I'll see you guys all tomorrow for another live trading session with our funded account. Have a great day. Stay green.